A 2-2 draw for our A-League men's team against the ladder leaders, Auckland FC, and a disappointing defeat for our A-League women's side at home to Western Sydney Wanderers. Hey guys, my name's Lockie. This is Coast Football, where we talk all things Central Coast Mariners. We'd love to get your thoughts on this past weekend's games, and we're also going to have a brief chat about next week's matches as well. We're in a really crucial time in both the A-League men's and A-League women's seasons. We're sort of passing the halfway point of the men's campaign now. And the A-League women's, we're coming up to some really crucial matches now where we're currently sitting fifth in the A-League women's ladder. And, we can't really afford any more sort of poor results to slip down the ladder at all. But look, let's dive into the first game on Saturday, Arvo. It was the men's team taking on Auckland FC. As we know, like heading into this game, we're coming up against the ladder leaders. So we knew it was going to be a real challenge for our team here. I mean, it's a challenge for anyone coming up against Auckland FC, who have just been fantastic ever since they've come into the competition. And in the end, a 2-2 draw here, which was the same scoreline that we saw the last time the Mariners went over to play Auckland FC over there in New Zealand. So let's talk about the game, and I want to dive into the lineup and what we saw deployed here from Warren Moon, which was very much a continuation from what we saw last week in that draw with MacArthur FC. The new signings, Ali Orgla, Christinel, Ollie Laval, getting another start here. So really interesting to see those guys have really been sort of thrown into the deep end here. Generally with new signings at football clubs, you'll see them maybe start off on the bench, get a few minutes here and there, start to work their way into the team. But Warren Moon, it's obvious, it's clear that he's very keen to get these guys straight into the side, get them gelling with the players who are obviously already here at the club. And I think all of them have actually been really solid. And of course, we'll talk about Ollie Laval in this video as well, because he was exceptional in the end in this game with two crucial goals for the Mariners. But look, overall, not a bad lineup that we are seeing here. Good to see us developing some consistency here in regards to selection. Obviously, Nathan Paul was coming back from international duty. He was representing the Australia under-23s at the under-23 Asian Cup. He came off the bench in this game. But it was Diesel Harrington and Donaghy playing those two centre-back positions as well. And obviously that our backline was really under the pump for much of this game, but especially that first half, we really struggled to break out and shift forward up the park and create opportunities. And, Auckland FC are so good at just suffocating the opposition and just applying the pressure, not allowing us to break out. And it was disappointing. We weren't able to really string things together, some wayward passes, shifting up the field that really didn't help us, in regards to progressing the ball up the field and creating opportunities. Auckland scored first, but then we bounced back with Ollie Laval's goal late on in that first half. And a really nice goal too. I mean, Miguel De Pizio, fantastic assist yet again from a player who we know has immense potential, Miguel De Pizio. He's been on the books here at the Mariners now for a few years, and this could be the season where he really is indeed taking his game to that next level. And he's shown really good glimpses so far this season. Hopefully he can just maintain that consistency, keep the assists and the goals flowing for him, because Miguel De Pizio, if he is performing for the Mariners, if he is having a good game, then the Mariners, more often than not, are probably getting a win in the end. And Laval, really nicely taken goal. It was a situation where he could have been closed down by a defender. The goalkeeper could have made the save, but it was a really composed moment there for Ollie Laval to take that goal and score his first Mariners goal. Huge for him. And then obviously in that second half, conceding first in that second half to go down 2-1. Disappointing goal to concede with that cross coming in. Maybe we could have done better to close down Francis de Vries, who's probably one of the best crosses in the A-League men's competition, and Sam Cosgrove, who got up to head home. But late drama. Ollie Laval getting in the box there to tap home what was a pretty scrappy goal in the end. Obviously, Auckland FC, they'll be disappointed in regards to Michael Bowden, him spilling the ball there, but that gifted a great opportunity for Laval just to poke home from right in front of goal. And 2 goals for Ollie Laval. I mean, huge, absolutely huge. He started last week against MacArthur, hit the woodwork in that game, so he was very, very close. And 2 goals here. We need that consistent striker, that striker who's going to be scoring goals regularly, and maybe Ollie Laval can be that guy. Huge for him to get those 2 goals and earn Mariners a very valuable 3 points. It would have been great if we got 3 points, but point in the end. It could prove to be a very, very, very valuable point in the end. Here's my 3-2-1 votes from this game. Has to be Laval with the 2 goals. I thought Miguel De Pizio was very, very good. And I should say as well, Very surprised that he was subbed off relatively early in this game. I think it was around the hour mark. Warren Moon brought DiPizio off. I thought he was probably our best player up to that point. So an interesting one there. Hopefully there's no injury concern or anything. And I thought Kristen actually worked really, really hard in midfield. He's creating a nice partnership alongside Brad Tapp there. And it's nice that we have got some real depth in midfield now. Obviously, Hayne Eames, Harry Steele can come into those positions as well. So a 2-2 draw in the end with Auckland FC. Let's shift over to the next game on Saturday, Arvo, because it was back-to-back, straight after. I'm sure some of you guys, whether you're in the stadium at Polytech Stadium for this game, maybe, who knows, you were across the road at the Leagues Club watching the Auckland game, the Auckland Mariners game on the TV, rush across to catch the kickoff of the Mariners Wanderers game here in the A-League women's competition. Disappointing result in the end. Obviously because of the fact that Wanderers are currently sitting bottom of the league. They are struggling. They have been struggling for a number of years now in the A-League women's competition, unfortunately for them. And this felt like a winnable game for the Mariners. I think heading into this contest, this was the expectation, not just from ourselves, Mariners fans, but probably for the league overall, is that Mariners are probably going to win this game. We've been in decent form overall in the last couple of months, and against Western Sydney Wanderers, who have been struggling yet again this campaign, surely we could get a positive result. A 2-1 loss in the end for the Mariners. Talking about the lineup first of all, because there was, again, the consistency that we are seeing, just as we were saying with the men's team. It's good to see that consistency really being established here. Cruzula, Gomez, Prakash and midfield have been working really well together. Trimis and Dos Santos, again, was selected to play in that wide position. I thought maybe this could have been the game where Tiana Fuller could have come in from the start. She came off the bench in this game, and that back line has been pretty solid in recent weeks as well. But Wanderers, I mean, they were creating the chances in the first half. It was disappointing that we were struggling to break out at times, and some wayward passes letting us down. And you could see Wanderers were just, every time we gave away the ball, every time we made just a small error, Wanderers were straight onto it. And that's how they opened the scoring in the end. Disappointing. Obviously, Taryn King will be disappointed with herself playing that ball out from the back, which was picked off, and Wanderers just punished us there to open the scoring. But a fantastic goal scored by the Mariners shortly after, Avani Prakash with a brilliant assist. And I think that's Avani Prakash. That's the position. That's why she's playing that number 10 role, because in those really tight areas where there's a lot of opposition players around her, she can use her dribbling ability to find that pocket of space, to find that pass for Rasmussen. It was a brilliant assist. And Rasmussen, I mean, we know she's been in great form this season. And when she's in those opportunities, she's going to finish off and find the back of the net. So a fantastic goal there for the Mariners. And you felt like heading into the second half, 1-1, home field advantage. Surely we can go and claim the 3 points. Unable to find it in the end, unfortunately. Wanderers, again, finding the back of the net. We were pushing late on. We could see the substitutes coming on. Fuller, as mentioned, came on. Millie Farrow hitting the crossbar late on in this contest. What a huge opportunity for Farrow to get in the score sheet for the Mariners there late on. It would have been a huge, huge goal. And it's getting to a point now when we look at the A-League women's ladder, man, it's so tight. It's incredible. Just, I think it's from like second to ninth. I think it's like 2 points separating all those teams. So it's quite incredible looking at sort of where we are sitting now. And the thing is, like, if we have even just the slightest dip in form, if we drop a couple of points, we could find ourselves well outside the top six. So it's important that we try and maintain some consistency, maintain the results, and hopefully this is just a one-off loss in the end. But talking about those 3-2-1 player votes here, Vani Prakash, the 3, mainly for that fantastic assist. Isabel Gomez, always a hard-working player in the centre of the park. And Annalise Rasmussen with another goal for her as well. She's having a fantastic season for the Mariners. So in terms of next week's games, really interesting fixtures for our A-League women's team. Away to Brisbane Roar, a team who are right next to us on the A-League women's ladder. And they've been in good form of late. Got some really good players in that team. Sean Fryer, Bente Jensen has been one of the top performers in the A-League women's competition this campaign. So a team to really watch out for, and it's we are going to certainly need to elevate. We can't afford to put in the same performance here that we put in against Wanderers if we want to get a result away to Brisbane. So in terms of changes, I mentioned earlier, whether Fuller comes in, I really think she could provide something on that left-hand side. We know what she did for us last season, scoring some spectacular goals. Hopefully she gets a bit more game time in next week's game But a huge game there. And for our men's team as well, home to Melbourne Victory. Finally, can this finally be the game where we get 3 points at home here? We know we've struggled with our home form for the last couple of years now. This is a big game here against Melbourne Victory. Of course, we think back to that A-League Men's Grand Final a couple of years ago where we hosted Melbourne Victory. We are hosting them once again here. I really like what we're building with our men's team with the new signings. They are continuing to gel together after a couple of games. And Nathaniel Blair, obviously, we should mention him making his Mariners debut. Congratulations to him. I think we've got the firepower now to contest with a team like Melbourne Victory, who have been a little bit up and down so far this season, but we know they've got a quality squad. So again, we're really going to need to elevate in that game as well. So 2 big games coming up this weekend. Drop your thoughts in the comments section. What do you make of this past weekend's games? And what are your expectations heading into next weekend as well? Away to Brisbane in the A-League Women's, at home to Melbourne Victory in the A-League Men's. Thanks guys for tuning in. My name's Lockie. This is Coast Football, and I'll see you in the next one.